Hi media students, today we're looking at something called meticulous photography. Now meticulous means showing great attention to detail and being very careful and precise, and we're going to look at how this can be used in some of your media products. So I'm going to introduce you to Emily Blinco. She is a photography artist. Now from her work, she meticulously places these elements together in her images. She gets images that are very similar or have a theme to them and then places them down to suitable surfaces. So in this case, she's used a lot of contrast in this one here. Okay, again, she's playing with colour and the contrast of colour, and look at the meticulous placements of both big and small items. So this style of photography uses the following design principles. She uses contrast in size, so we've got some big leaves and small leaves, contrast in colour, particularly between the background, so look at how she has used black to contrast against the bright greens, repetition, so she's repeating the same pattern, alignment. She's lining things up. Notice that this is all formed into a square. And proximity, which means how close something is to each other. So she's got a similar amount of room between each of those leaves. These are the 4 design principles that I want you to be using when you think about doing your own meticulous photography. So, in media products, meticulous photography is used quite a lot. We see it across magazines, and it's often used in food magazines. You can see here a number of magazines that have used it in terms of products, whether they're fresh or whether they're cooked. Very popular in baking magazines. And again, we can see these principles of proximity, contrast, alignment and repetition. It's also used in fashion magazines, often on product pages where items are laid out and then the text in the magazine is added over the top. In fact, all kinds of magazines. So some more examples here: exercise magazines and another product page there for headphones. So, step 1. You're going to create some meticulous photography. So I want you to go and find a collection of objects from around your house. In fact, pause this video, run off, go and see what you can collect. And then when you've found a set of objects, come back and press play. So now you're back with your objects. You need to arrange your objects on a suitable background. So you need to be thinking about what kind of background you're going to use. It needs to be not just some scruffy old stained bit of carpet in the corner of the room, of your bedroom. It doesn't want to be fussy. It needs to be plain so that the objects that you're arranging kind of stand out. I want you to think about my example here. So this is one that I've taken. I want you to think about how I've used those 4 design principles. I found myself a light background, but equally, what would it look like on a darker background? So I've tried 2 different examples. Here again, I've got another set of items. Found this one hard not to resist and did eat a couple, but they're laid out on a black background. Are they more effective on a black background than on a white background? Here it is on a white background. Another on a very white background. Now luckily my phone allows me, when I take a photograph, to increase the exposure. So I've really bleached it out compared to the white background on the previous image. This is really nice and bright. And again, black backgrounds. So look again at my repetition, my alignment, the proximity and the contrast that I've used in these examples. Okay, so once you've got your arrangements laid out, it's time to photograph them. Now you're just going to use your mobile phone, and you're going to make sure that you've got it in focus, that you're making it nice and close. So we don't want all the stuff around on the floor. We want you to zoom right in before you take the photograph. And I also want you to think about the time of day and the lighting that you're going to take it under. So think about whether the sun is coming in the window. You can, if you can see here, I've actually taken it into a darker area and I've put a light on top of it because I want to play around with shadows. So notice how the shadows move as I move the light. This would be the same if you were doing it near a sunny window. You might want to make use of the shadows. Alternatively, you want to be taking the photograph in like cloud if you don't want any shadows. So cloudy weather diffuses the sun and stops you from having shadows. So you need to think about your lighting as well. Okay, so once you've done all that, you're going to edit your photos and we're going to clean them up. So even if you've got nice backgrounds, you'll still find that sometimes the photography is a little bit dull. So in our next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use an online Photoshop style product called Photopea, and pop over to the next tutorial to find out how to do that. Have fun!